My wife is old school. We have invasive oxalis. It's the same thing that's in...
You make it sound like something out of Star Trek.
It is. It's very invasive. And it grows. It's got these beautiful flowers, little yellow flowers.
Pretty little yellow smiley faces. And if you're not a gardener, you water them because you just love the cheery little faces.
Yeah.
I'm watering them.
My wife is making them die.
Die!
And she's heating water on the wood cook stove because we needed a fast fire this morning.
Free!
And explain to us what you're doing.
Okay. We have weeds. Now sometimes I like overrun. I have these little guys here. These are escapees. They're violas. They're such lovely little people, and they just see the little face, they just smile. These other things are weeds. It's oxalis. It kind of looks like clover, and it gets these little smiley yellow faces, and it's just so cheery looking, and you think, well, it's so cute. I'll just put a little water on it. I can't bear to see something die. And then suddenly it has taken over your entire driveway. It's crawling into your rose bushes. It's getting into the garden. It's all over everything. Well, you can take Roundup and you can kill this stuff. You can pull it out, but the stuff runs underground. So you've got these massive roots. And if you don't get every piece of it, there comes the little sucker up 6 feet from where you were. So you can take Roundup. Boy, doesn't everybody love Roundup these days. Nothing like taking a few vile chemicals and spraying them on your driveway. So I didn't want to do that, besides which it's expensive. And this is a budget deal. It's what they used to call a shoestring outfit or a rawhide outfit. So the other thing you can do that makes people who like to live organically and cleanly, you take vinegar and Epsom salts and you mix them in water and you spray the stuff down and then let the sun shine on it. And it's essentially a defoliant. And if you've got concrete, or if you're dealing with something like the edge of the retaining wall, and you put that stuff on there, the sun shines on it, the plant goes, and it's done on top. Until the rain comes. And then you've got this root system that never completely left the country, and it'll go, hi, I'm a weed. If you've got concrete, it's okay, because you're just dealing with a little tiny thing and you're making life really impossible for the thing. Unfortunately, you better hope you never want to plant anything there, because you do leave the salt in the ground. And while Epsom salt is okay to use, and you can use pickling salt if you're not using Epsom salts for this same little deal, you get stuff in the ground that you don't want in the ground where you plant. And besides that, it costs. Not much, granted, but it costs. So, as Steve said this morning, yeah, it's not too bad now, but when I went out this morning, it was chilly, not as bad yesterday. It was freezing. What in the world is it freezing in the middle of June for? So, we had a fire not in the big wood stove, but in the kitchen stove. And it's like, no propane. Okay, so I filled 2 kettles, and I've been all morning running in and out the door with the kettles, which that warms you up too, because you're running in and out the door, because I can't stand to listen to him shriek. And I'm pouring boiling water on my little weeds. And you have to be kind of careful, because you don't want to get boiling water on the plants you like the little smiley faces. So you kind of stay away from those, but you want to douse pretty thoroughly the stuff with boiling water, and depending on how obnoxious it is. And out here, there is oxalis, and there's also this stuff that I can't remember the name of, which is just the most hateful stuff. And if you break the roots off, it gets this icky white sap all over your hands, and it's horrible. And the plants sprawl, and they cover the ground, and they bloom, and then they spread more, and it's the same thing. And I really hate weeds. So anyway, I'm trying to douse those 2, and I figure this is probably going to be an ongoing project. The lemon balm, which has gone mad, I can just pull up. But this other stuff, pulling it up when the ground is hard and dry, is not really an option. So I'm making weed tea. with my boiling water, and all it leaves in the ground is water.
Yay.
And that works.
She hates weed, but she's married to one.
I hate weeds. No, I'm married to a weed waterer, a bleeding heart weed waterer.
I think they have the most beautiful flowers, but okay. So the oxalis finally is dying without using chemicals and salt. And that's a happy thing. And that's all she's got to say about that.